What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Alex Pereira and his ex-wife go back and forth on social media about their relationship. Alex came out on the Full Send podcast and said, "It's a little hard to talk about this because for me, I already deleted this person from my life. I'd also like to ask my fans to also delete her from your life. It was a person I believed. I put her in my house together with my family. After all, I found out she was married." Marie-Christine, Pereira's ex-wife, commented on the situation saying, "LOL, hurt man, inventing whatever with a bunch of laughing crying emojis." She also said, "How can I be married and moving to the States, LOL." Alex then took to his Instagram story and posted text messages with the caption saying, "Well guys, Marie thinks she'll be able to manipulate you. I've been talking to her ex-husband for a few days and today I know what she's capable of. This is a love conversation with two different people on the same day and at the same time. She attacked me thinking I was going to fight back, but I'm not crazy about doing that. I have video of her attacking me. Since she didn't get what she wanted, she's trying to use my name." Jon Jones responds after Khamzat Chimaev claims he could beat Jon in an interview last week despite their size difference.
Depends which weight class. That's true also. He's now a heavyweight. Of course, always in asking, if I ask this guy, he will say, yeah, I will. If you're asking me, for sure, I think I will. So that's a hard fight for everyone. And he been fighting for 2 times with my training partner, Alexander Gustafsson. They had a good fights as well. So I've become a fighter with Alex, been trained with him so far. And for sure I want to fight with this guy. So it will be a big history if we fight. Since Alex gave him the best fight in history he gets. Now it's maybe my time to fight him as well.
Jon Jones went to Twitter to respond to Khamzat. He said, "Khamzat Chimaev, stop it. Don't let people ask you those questions." Next up, let's take a look at Strickland goes off on Israel Adesanya. Despite having his sights set on Dricus du Plessis on Saturday, Strickland still had plenty of time to go off on Israel Adesanya at the Fight Week press conference on Thursday in Canada. While he and du Plessis kept things respectful, the champ took aim at Israel Adesanya, who predicted earlier in the week that du Plessis would get the win via submission. In response to the prediction, Strickland took aim at the former champ.
"Listen, Izzy, the guy, the cringe lord, the pup play himself. Izzy. I could have took Izzy down and beat his on the ground, but I chose to stand with him like a man. What did he do the whole fight? Run away like a Izzy, shut your mouth."
Given that reports had indicated earlier in the week that Adesanya would be in attendance at the event, the expectation among the MMA community is that the last stylebender would get a chance to fight the winner of this weekend's title fight. In response to the press conference, Conor McGregor was quick to take to social media, writing, "One hell of a main event fight and card lined up for the fans this Saturday. USA versus SA for the middleweight gold. Live from Canada, forever a coveted title, the 185-pound UFC belt. On a roll with back-to-back-to-back mega events now, right through the summer we are. Let's go, UFC." With Fight Night right around the corner, it's safe to say the MMA community is eager to see how this one plays out. Next up, let's take a look at Dana White reveals the truth on Saudi Arabia fight card. Reports recently indicated that the UFC was postponing its March card in Saudi Arabia, which was expected to be a landmark event for the promotion. While rumors flew alleging that Saudi Arabian officials were not satisfied with the quality of the card, PFL founder Don Davis alleged that it wasn't a coincidence the UFC postponed their card in Saudi Arabia after hearing of the PFL vs Bellator Supercard, which is expected to take place in Riyadh just the week before. With plenty of speculation going around, Dana White decided to set the record straight leading up to UFC 297 while speaking with Sportsnet's Aaron Bronstetter.
We moved the card, and I know there's been a lot of talk about that the card wasn't good enough. We never even proposed the card to him. We didn't tell Saudi Arabia about one fight. So that's all, you know. You say bullshit up here? Or,
Go ahead.
It was all bullshit. Bullshit. We never even proposed the card to them. What we wanted to do is, you know, every time the UFC puts on an event, we want to blow the doors off the place. We want, you know, people to be excited.
As White went on to explain, he and the UFC had several fights targeted for the card. However, ultimately, several fighters weren't ready to go. According to the chairman of General Authority for Entertainment in Saudi Arabia, Turki Al-Sheikh, who spoke in an interview with DAZN, he stated he wants to see Conor McGregor fight in Saudi Arabia, whether it be now or in the future.
We are ready to have a fight with him. We try maybe, and we will announce it. We will do something big. And I asked UFC if there is chance to have McGregor in this card or in the future in the card.
With plenty of time between now and June, the UFC will have the chance to put together a massive event for the summer. The big question is, will Conor McGregor be involved? Next, let's take a look at Dana White shuts down UFC 300 rumors. According to Dana White, there are a number of other former UFC stars who won't be competing at UFC 300 as well, despite rumors indicating that former stars like Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, and George St. Pierre may be returning to compete on the card. Dana White said that the UFC isn't going to shock fans with news out of left field, announcing a former fighter's return. He spoke on a previously mentioned interview with Aaron Bronsteter for Sportsnet, where he shut down talk of yesterday's stars fighting on UFC 300.
I don't think there's going to be anything out of left field. This is just going to be, you know, a type of card that we've never done before. It's going to be, every fight is a must-see fight. Ronda's not coming back. GSP is not coming back. Brock Lesnar's like 45 years old, or pushing 50, 46. Yeah, none of those calls were made.
Of course, the expectation is that in addition to the already announced bouts, the UFC will book a welterweight title fight between Leon Edwards and Belal Muhammad on the card, with fans also hopeful that another star like Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira, or Tom Aspinall wind up competing at the event as well in order to round out what's expected to be a stacked main card. It's going down this weekend at UFC 297. Live from Ontario, Sean Strickland will be facing off against Dricus du Plessis. Have you built your bet slip yet? As always, we've partnered with DraftKings, and right now, new customers can take advantage of an offer with them you won't want to miss. All new customers who bet just $5 will instantly get $200 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings app now, and don't forget to use our promo code MMAZone. You heard me right. New customers that bet just $5 on any wager will get $200 in bonus bets added to their account instantly. You can stay in on the action with DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at even bigger payouts. There, you'll combine multiple bets together from the same fight, like how long the fight will last and the method of victory. If you're already signed up for DraftKings like me, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay, or SGPX. Get a bonus bet back if your bet doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers that use our promo code MMAZone and bet just $5 on any wager will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code MMAZone, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, let's shift gears and take a look at Khabib reacts to UFC 300 rumors. Recently, rumors began to swirl that former lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov would be returning to the octagon for UFC 300. The reports began to pick up steam despite AKA head coach Javier Mendez shutting down talk of the Hall of Famer's return. To add fuel to the fire, famed footballer Zlatan Ibrahimovic recently posted a photo of he and Nurmagomedov at the AC Milan vs Roma match on Instagram, simply writing UFC 300. With the post, fight fans began to wonder whether there was more truth to the rumors that Javier Mendez led on. However, the Eagle has since taken to his Instagram story, shutting down talk of a UFC 300 fight, writing, UFC 300 will be without me, like UFC 400. According to Khabib's longtime friend and training partner Daniel Cormier, one of the biggest indicators that the Eagle wouldn't be returning came at Islam Makhachev's recent fight in Abu Dhabi, where Nurmagomedov chose not to attend despite being in town, showing no desire to be in the spotlight. To add on to that, Cormier revealed that Nurmagomedov previously turned down a whopping $40 million to return to action just 2 years back.
I mean, I haven't really spoken to him lately, so I don't imagine that he would come back because, dude, we did a top 30 UFC fighters of all time. Khabib told us he turned down $40 million. He said $40 million. That dude said $40 million, bro, to come back.
Oh, to fight anybody? Or to fight
the UFC? I don't know how many fights he was meaning. I don't know what he meant. But he just said it. He goes, I turned away $40 million, brother. I'm done. I don't know what would prompt him to come back if he was turning that type of money away 2 years ago.
With Khabib ruled out for UFC 300, fans are wondering what the UFC brass has up their sleeve for the historic card. Next, let's take a look at Jon Jones fires back at Daniel Cormier. Recently, text messages from 2014 surfaced through the ongoing antitrust suit against the UFC showing Dana White and his former partner, Lorenzo Fertitta, discussing contract negotiations with Jon Jones. In the leaked back and forth, White can be seen calling Jones a scumbag and a punk, while Fertitta calls the then light heavyweight champion a douche. While many members of the MMA community took aim at White for talking about a fighter in such a way, Daniel Cormier defended the move, explaining on a recent episode of Funky and the Champ that he understands what it's like having an employee who won't fall in line.
Dana White, or some of his text messages, were leaked in regards to Jon Jones, Ben. And they were very mean text messages. But I may have a little bit of a different view of this than most. No, here's my thing. All right, Ben, you and I both own businesses.
Yeah.
We've all had bad employees, or there's different levels, right? So in our business, it's being late, maybe not showing up on time, maybe not always being like tapped into the practices when they're there. But with Jones, it's about being at the fight, doing the promotion, being easier to work with, right? In those moments, when you have an employee that isn't working in the way that you think, you say things about an employee that isn't doing the things that you want.
In response to his longtime rival, Jones took to social media, writing, "Never let a bad employee beat you up and take everything from you twice. It'll leave you bitter for a really long time, evidently." After a fan questioned whether Jones was taking aim at Dana White or not, the heavyweight champ clarified, responding, "No, that was to DC." So far, despite taking aim at DC, Jones has yet to share his thoughts on the comments of both White and Lorenzo Fertitta. However, he and the UFC brass are, of course, notably on far better terms now than the two sides were at the time of the leaked texts. Now, let's take a look at UFC fighter fires back at Daniel Cormier for comments. With Jim Miller's recent win over Gabriel Benitez and his upcoming fight against Bobby Green at UFC 300, his place as one of the all-time legends of the sport has been a big topic for debate among MMA fans. While some feel as though his record for the most fights and wins in UFC history is enough to get him into the Hall of Fame, others, like Daniel Cormier, feel as though Miller's career isn't Hall of Fame worthy. While speaking on a recent episode of UFC Unfiltered, Miller fired back at Cormier's claim, arguing that his longevity in the sport is enough to earn him a crack at the title.
DC had 15 UFC fights, and in his 15 UFC fights, now granted he ended up getting the title and stuff like that and double champ. We had the same record in my first 15 fights. We had the same exact record.
Oh wow! Oh, that's interesting.
What 11-3 and 1 no contest. Here I am, nearing the end of my third Daniel Cormier career. And my record is almost the same.
That's crazy.
as my first. So like, and in that time, every win that I've got is a finish in this third one. So like, I'm still here. I'm still performing. I'm still a dangerous guy, tripling the champ, right? Like tripling his time in the octagon.
As Dana White pointed out this week, not only is Miller still fighting and winning at 40 years old, he's also fighting to break into the top 15 of the lightweight division when he and Bobby Green face off. Joe Rogan reacts to Conor McGregor fighting at middleweight. Although Dana White indicated this week that nothing has been finalized in regard to Conor McGregor's return to the octagon, the Irish superstar has already announced that he will be competing against Michael Chandler in a middleweight bout on June 29th. After being informed that Leon Edwards was unsure of giving a welterweight title fight to Bilal Muhammad, longtime commentator Joe Rogan theorized that at the end of the day, everyone is still trying to angle for a fight with McGregor, given that his return isn't set in stone yet. He spoke on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, both about others angling for a fight with McGregor and the Irish star's potential return at 185 pounds.
Look, everybody's angling to try to get Conor, right? Listen.
Bro, he's small.
I understand. But wouldn't you take it just for the money? Leon would feel like he has a big advantage. You know, he's a legitimate welterweight.
He would dust Conor.
And then he'd make a lot of money. So if he could talk Conor into that. But Conor and Chandler is interesting too. Well, I don't like it that it's at 85.
Is it actually confirmed at 85?
I don't know.
I mean, he said that.
He's drinking wine and talking with a Rolex on. Like, who knows? And he's getting older as well. And he's also coming off the sauce, right? So he gets on the sauce, and rightly so, to recover from that bone injury. It's a significant injury.
Given how eager McGregor has been to fight and the frustration he's expressed with the UFC, another postponement of the fight likely wouldn't go over well with the former champ. Top comments. Strickland just said what everyone is thinking. Pressing a fighter on old tweets in regards to social issues has got to be the lowest IQ move ever. Let's be honest, anyone who really wants to fight Sean Strickland can fight Sean Strickland. He's always sparring in a gym with someone. If you want that person to be you, then just go there. He'll be happy to oblige, I'm sure. Bellator better do well. It's a double-edged sword. If that event fails, it was their best fighters. So technically, this should be their best numbers. Let's see. Make sure to leave a comment and you might get featured in our next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss any MMA news. Check out our video from yesterday if you missed it. See you tomorrow.